red on my jersey, lion on my chest is for my fam, for my town. We ain't settling for less. Offense clean.
We have Golden Meadow football coach Derek Brunet here on the group chat. We are honored to have Coach Brunet. D, second day in a row, I get the pleasure of interviewing you, brother. How we doing today, man?
Doing well, Casey. How about you guys? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me on.
100%, dude. First and foremost, before we dive into Golden Meadow football, we just did our Pick'em segment, so I'm going to just throw you right into the fire. LSU and Clemson Saturday. Who you got?
Oh, tight game, but I got LSU. I think our quarterback's going to make the plays when it matters most, and I think our defense is going to step up. Blake Baker's going to have those boys right. It's going to be a tight game, but in us I trust, so I'm going with LSU.
Brunet, I'm glad you didn't listen to the last segment because they had a lot of people crapping on LSU. I'm right there with you. I was totally against everything last week. This week, game week, I'm pumped up, ready to go.
Nice, man. I like it.
You guys are going to be having your first quote-unquote game day on Saturday as well. It's going to be the Lions Club Jamboree out there in Thibodaux. You're taking on Bayou Blue. You told me yesterday, hey, man, we've had a great offseason. We've had a great week, all that good stuff. Tell me about the preparation and tell me about some things you were hoping to see when you guys take the field.
We've had a terrific offseason. Those guys have been showing up every day and working hard. It's a very hard-working group. I'm excited about this group, and we're really anxious to see what we have. You know, when we take the field against another opponent, I know our guys are tired of hitting each other. They're ready to hit a fresh opponent, just like I know Bayou Blue is. So we couldn't be more excited. You know, everything's been going well. We've had a great week of practice thus far up to this point. We had a good practice today. It wasn't a great start, but they were able to close it out strong, showed some resilience. And we're going to go light the next 2 days and be ready to rock and roll on Saturday. What we're hoping to see on Saturday, you just want to see you execute on all phases of the game. You know, offensively, we want to make sure we come in and out of the huddle in a timely manner, not getting delayed game penalties. Obviously, we don't want any false start penalties, don't want any illegal formations or any other illegal procedure penalties that could come out. You know, defensively, we want to make sure that we play an assignment football. You know, we want to make sure we crisp and clean on that side of the ball too. And we got some guys that are see ball, hit ball kind of guys. So we're excited to unleash them against a live opponent and really get them going. And then last but not least, special teams, man. Special teams can make or break a game at any level. And we just want to be crisp in all aspects. Hopefully we don't have to punt, but we want to just see a smooth kickoff team, kickoff return, you know, if we do have to punt and then punt return. So we just want to see how we look in all phases of the game against a live opponent. And the Jamboree is the perfect opportunity to see what you do need to correct, what you do need to fix. Because it's one thing to look good against your scout offense and defense and in practice, but going against a live team that's ready to hit the ground running too is going to tell a lot about what we are and is going to be able to identify places we need to improve. So we're excited.
Coach, let me ask you this, man. You mentioned, hey, you got some guys that are ready to go. They're chomping at the bit. How do you make sure that they're being themselves and doing what they're coached to do and they're not too amped up?
You always preach, just do your job, man. Just do your job. I don't need you to make every play. I just need you to do your job on any given play. And I know that sounds like coach talk, but that's the best way of trying to get through to them is, look, you don't need to be Superman. I don't need 11 Supermen on the field. I need everybody just do their job. I need everybody just be themselves and just make the plays that are there.
No doubt about that, man. Look, you were talking about the defense and how they like to attack and they like to go and put the pads on somebody else. Who are some of those guys on defense that you're counting on this year, bud?
I'm going to start off with our three linebackers, Maddox Vegas, Plaisance, and Hayden Guidry. Those are three guys that started for us last year as seventh graders. So they're coming in with some experience, and they're going to be our heavy hitters defensively. On the defensive line, we're going to have a nice deep rotation with our linemen. We got Ryder, Doucet, Russ, Léger, Plaisance, Brian Buzzy, guard, Paris Doucet, Andrew Billiard, Brock Bruce. So we're going to have a good rotation on the defensive line. And then we got Kylan Kaiga playing safety. He's a fast guy. He could cover a lot of ground, and he could deliver a hit as well. And then at corners, we have a good rotation of four guys, Wyatt Gilbo, Chevy Hernandez, Judah Boggs, and Paris Doucet is also going to play some corners. So we got some guys coming back with some experience and playing, and they're exciting.
Be real, man. How nervous are you, bro? Because look, I know you guys prepare. I know you guys are putting in all the time, but there's always going to be this little bit of, hey, I'm a kid and this is Christmas Eve and I see all them presents under the tree. How nervous and excited are you for Saturday to finally get here so you can see what you guys got to work on?
Honestly, Casey and the rest of you guys, I'm not really nervous. I'm ready just to see where we need to go from here. What's the next step? Because, I mean, in year 3 as the head coach, the butterflies are kind of going for most games, I'm just ready to see where we're at and what areas we need to improve upon. Highlight what we do well, what we didn't do so well, and what we found useful from the game. Really be self-reflective as a coaching staff, and then, translate that to the players and improve from there.
I'm glad to hear Coach Brunet speaking like a true veteran, where 80% of everything makes him completely miserable. Well, welcome to the club, Coach. Hey, so Coach Brunet, I know I'm looking at your schedule right now, and I took a look at my basketball power schedule. Man, no easy weeks at all. I know, obviously, LCO scrimmage coming up. When is that? And then it looks like September 10th is going to be the first real live action taking on Raceland.
Yes, sir. So our scrimmage against the Rose is going to be next Thursday. That's September 4th, I'm pretty sure. And we're looking forward to that. It's always fun to go and play your rival. And it's going to be fun to go match up with Coach Nancy Pierce. He's going to have those boys prepared. He's going to have that offense ready to rock and roll with all his different motions and shifts and everything like that. And if I know him and his coaching staff, their defense is going to be tough as well. So we're ready to go and try to line up toe-to-toe with them and see what we got. I thought we played them very close last year in all 3 matchups. I thought we had good showings. We obviously didn't get the result we wanted, but, it was a lot tougher matchup for the Rose than it was in the past few years, so it was very encouraging. I think we're a program headed in the right direction, and that's a credit to these boys that have been working hard. I mean, we've been at it since June 9th doing our summer conditioning program and then transitioning to, practice in late July and, August now. So we're looking forward to it. Like I said, always fun to play your rival, and always good to go out there and let those kids play and see what they got. And then not just your starters, but it's always good to see your younger kids play. They've been working hard too. It's good to get them out there live, game reps, and see where they can improve and see what areas they might be able to help you and they can step onto the field maybe this year.
Coach, I know a lot of folks put a lot of thought and just a lot of care into that LCO scrimmage. But the takeaways as a coach, are you doing kind of the same thing in that scrimmage game as you are on Saturday? Or are you looking into things a little bit more at that point, being the first real live action is going to be the following week?
Yeah, I think you're going to look into it a little bit more in depth. You might do a few more things that you probably won't do in the Jamboree. I mean, I'm sure I could speak for almost every coach in this parish. In the Jamboree, you're going very vanilla. You're not trying to show anybody anything because everybody's there. You're definitely probably going to open it up a little bit more against La Rose. I'm not going to say a whole lot, but I know Coach Pierce is going to run his base offense. We plan on running our base offense. Let's see who does it better. Let's see who executes, because that's what it's going to come down to, execution.
You touched on exactly what I was going to ask, is that you got Bayou Blue this weekend. You play them in a parish game less than a month from now, September the 24th. Let's say you score a touchdown to tie it with a minute left. You're not running your best 2-point play, are you? You're saving that. You're saving that for week 3, aren't you?
That's a tough one, man, because, boy, you want to win. Boy, you want to win so bad. Y'all know that as competitors, man. You want to win so bad. So I'll tell you what, Casey, I'll let you know when it happens.
There you go.
Brunet, I'll tell you this. If I'm at that game on Saturday and that you get in that position, you don't run that your good 2-point play, I'm going to find you, bro. We win at Golden Meadow.
That's what I'm talking about, So, I mean, I hope y'all read between the lines with that answer. I was trying to keep it, close to the vest, but yeah, y'all know me better than that, man. Got to go for the win.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. You shouted out your defense. I'm an offensive guy, and I know you got some tricks up your sleeve that we're going to see throughout the season, but who's your guys on offense that we need to look for?
I'll tell you what, I want to shout out our offensive line first and foremost, man. We got some big boys up there. They're an absolute unit. Boy, they're big. And we got some guys that can move up there, and they're strong, man. They're going to be a tough out for defenses, I think, and I'm hoping. They've looked very, very sharp throughout practices. And so it all starts with the offensive line. They do a very good job. So I'm going to shout those guys out. We got Brian Buzzigar at center. We got Javen Allen at a guard. We got Carter J. Plaisance at a guard. And then to cap it off, we got our tackles, Ryder, Doucet, and Russ, Léger. So we're looking forward to a big season from them so they could spring our backs. Our backs, man, I tell you what, we got a good blend of speed and power. We got a good blend of speed and power this year. You know, we probably had a little bit more speed last year, but this year I think it's a great blend. Our backs are Maddox Vegas, Carter W. Plaisance, and Hayden Guidry. And then we got Jacob Davis leading the charge at quarterback.
Good deal, man. That's awesome, dude. And look, let me ask you this. Let's talk about special teams. At the middle school level, it doesn't get talked about a whole lot. But, dude, if you could punt the ball 20, 25 yards, 30 yards even, if you could, on the kickoff, boom it down the field, if you could cover kicks, if you could return kicks, all those little field position things matter so much, Derek. You know this because, look, middle school, very rarely do you see a field goal or anything like that. Every once in a while, you got a kicker that can make one. But by and large, it's a game of scoring touchdowns, and field position is a huge thing. How often do you guys rep special teams in practice?
Every single day. We rep special teams in practice every single day. We cover a whole gamut: kickoff, kick return, punt return. Like you said, it's absolutely critical. It may seem something small to like the average fan, but man, if you could flip field position, like you said, by a punt or a kick return, or maybe you could recover an onside kick or things like that, you could swing the momentum of games that way. I mean, I've seen in my 13 years of coaching football that games have been won and lost a lot of times in special teams. So it is definitely important. Often overlooked, especially by casual fans, but it's very, very important.
Derek, we give one of our co-hosts, Tommy Thibodaux, crap all the time because he's a big Baker Mayfield fan. I got to tell you, I remember way back when you telling me when he was in college, hey, Gisclair, I like this Mayfield dude. He's got attitude. He's tough. You've also always been a Mayfield fan. And right now, dude, in Tampa, he's the best quarterback in the division, bro. So kudos to you. I'm not going to give kudos to Tommy, but kudos to you, man. You stayed on the Baker train.
Well, thanks, Coach. I appreciate that. I love some Baker Mayfield, man. He's so enthusiastic. He's a kind of guy you want on your team, but if you lined up across from him, you can't stand him. You know, he'll get in your head and all, but he's a great leader. And I'm glad he was able to find a place where he could flourish, be himself, and come into his own, because I think Cleveland made a huge mistake getting rid of him. I mean, obviously that blew up in their face with their situation they're in now, but you know, I just don't think he was given the right fair shake. I mean, he's playing injured, leads them to the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they cast him aside for Deshaun Watson. Hindsight's 20/20, but man, that blew up in their face. And then going to Carolina, I mean, that old team was just a dumpster fire. And I think the spark all started for him when he was able to go and reset for those few weeks in L.A. with the Rams. You know, getting to Sean McVay, and then going to Tampa Bay where they're running that same offense. I think he finally found something that works for him, and I'm just happy for him. So I loved watching him in college, man. He's definitely one of the more exciting quarterbacks we've seen in college in the past few years, and just his moxie and his arm strength and his willingness to do whatever it takes, man. He's not the biggest guy, fastest guy, the strongest guy, but he's going to do whatever it takes to win, man. I love watching him run the ball, and like he'll run somebody over, and he's just talking smack to him. It's like, man, you either brave or crazy, and he's a little bit of both, so definitely helps.
I like that. Look, dude, let me ask you this. I know you are a guy who is always studying social media and seeing what other people are saying. Be real with me, bro. How jacked up are you when you were seeing the things that Coach O was telling those boys down the bayou? I know as a coach, and then also just as a Cajun, you had to have been like, man, let's go. Like, give me pads. I want to play.
Oh, he fired me up. I was ready to run through a brick wall, man. You gotta love the guy. You know, I know things didn't go in as like we wanted them to with him at LSU, but man, he did bring us a championship, you know, and he was at the time the right man for the job, and just brought that Louisiana pride back. I think he injected that back into all of Louisiana, you know, because like we had a few down years, you know, and people were kind of crapping on LSU and everything, but he brought that Louisiana pride back to the program and bringing a spotlight on our culture down here on the bayou, man. So, man, I tell you what, those videos you showed, man, that fired me up.
No doubt.
Hey, real quick, Coach, I know as a head coach, your support staff, assistant coaches are vital to what you want to do in your program. Who's working with you this year, and in what positions are they?
You nailed it right on the head. Let me tell you, I got some great assistant coaches with me. I've got Don Danos Jr. He's our defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator. He's been with me for now 8 years, coaching with me. We're very tight. He does a fantastic job with our defense. And then we got Scott Chauvin. He's our defensive line coach, and he helps out with the backs and everything. Scott does a little bit of everything. And then we got Coach Brandon Foray that helps out with special teams. He's learning the ropes. He's kind of new to the coaching game. And then I'm going to have Reggie Easeman coming back and help us out. He's going to be in the booth. He's going to be in the booth providing feedback to the coaching staff, offensive, defensive, special teams, providing us with real-time intel, from up there. And just being able to see things that maybe we might miss on the field. So, having him come back with us, that's going to be a treat. We love the guy. And I just want to shout out those coaches. I thank them so much for their time, their effort, and everything they bring to the program, because I could not do it without them. And I could not do it without them. They are such a big help to me. They lift a lot of burdens off my shoulder. So I'm very, very thankful for our coaching staff, a great group of guys.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Brunet, real quick question, just kind of shifting gears here. We were just talking before we had you on air about just how excited we are. College football's here. Can't wait for Saturday. It's game day, baby. Week 1, this and that. Can't wait to see what LSU does to Clemson. Man, how are you as a coach running this program? How are you handling? Because I know you hear the kids talk in the locker room. I know you hear these boys talk on the field. You got football guys. They got to be super jacked up about the weekend. How are you handling the distraction, the potential distraction of, hey, we got our own game to worry about this Saturday. Y'all need to not be talking about Texas and Ohio State right now. Y'all need to not be worried about LSU. We got to take care of our business before you worry about that. How are you handling that distraction?
Not everybody's a football guy, but the guys that do like football, they probably into all the Saturday games before we head on the bus and everything. But I just told them straight up on Monday, it's business. It's all about business over here. You step into our practice facility and our practice field, it's all about us. It's all about us. It ain't about no Ohio State, no Texas, LSU, Clemson. It's not even about the other team that we played against. It's about us. It's about us. And I tell them a line from my mentor, Coach Brian Kiro, talk is cheap, man. Talk is cheap. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. So that's what I told them, and they buy into the message. They know the expectation here, because what we have now is a group of 8th graders that have been with me for this their 3rd year. So they've been with me every year. I've been the head coach, so they know the message. They preaching it to the younger guys too. They know the expectation.
Good deal.
Do you have a book of quotes from Coach Kiro?
And if so, can I buy it?
Man, I tell you what, I might have to compile one because I got so many of them. Man, I have so many fond memories coaching with Coach Kiro. We had a good time, man. I couldn't ask for a better mentor when I was, coaching at the middle school level. He taught me a lot, and I definitely had some fun coaching with him. It was some good times.
I'm not going to put Coach Brunet on a spot, but he does an excellent Coach Kiro impression.
Hey now.
Go ahead. I'm about to do that for y'all one day off air, give y'all a real good one.
It's good.
Real good one.
It's good. Hey, my last question, Coach, and we definitely appreciate your time. What is one thing that has to happen this season for Coach Brunet to call the season a successful one for Golden Meadow Middle School football?
A lot of people, when they answer that question, Damon, they probably talk a lot about, winning this, winning that. And, I would say us just improving week in and week out, being better than we were the game before. If we focus on doing what we have to do on each play to win the play, to dominate the rep, the scoreboard is going to take care of itself. So I'm not going to put a number of wins we need or this or that. I just want to see us improve each week, and the result's going to take care of itself if we do that.
Good. Be good, Coach. Y'all go kick some Saturday, bro.
Good luck.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Hey, we're going to make this a weekly thing, man. We're going to do some Lions content and make sure it gets out to our fans.
Sounds good, guys. I'm in. Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Yep. That's Coach Derek Brunet. I want to say something real quick. I'm proud of that dude, man. We've been knowing him since he was a student teacher at Saint Lafourche. He was green as a 4-leaf clover then, real nervous, didn't want to talk a whole lot. He's turned into a really good coach. And, we already knew he was a really good dude. That was never a question. But he has turned into a really good coach. D, I mean this sincerely if you're watching this back. I'm proud of you, man. Like, keep up the good work. You're making a difference with those kids, man.
I tell you what, he does a tremendous job. The kids at Golden Meadow, I'm involved in the school. Obviously, I try to get there as much as I can. Everybody respects him. My oldest kid is pretty much a Damien clone and doesn't like very many people.
Doesn't like anybody, right?
Loves Coach Brunet. But you talked about his student teaching days. That'll prepare you.
Yeah.
What he went through and some of the things that he had to deal with on a daily basis, that'll prepare you for real life real quick.
100%. 100%. I love that question too, by the way, Turtle, because if I were playing for Golden Meadow, knowing as much of a sports nerd as I was at that age, I would have a hard time focusing on like, oh, we got to go play Bayou Blue. Like, like I hope it's over before 7. Like I want to go watch LSU. Like I would have a hard time focusing. So I think that was a really good question. Like, how do you get those guys to zero in on what you have to do when there's all sorts of stuff that's going to be going viral around you on Saturday?
And you know there's going to be some whispers. You know there's going to be like, who the hell scheduled this? There's going to be some chirping of, why we got to go do this on a Saturday period. On top of that, opening Saturday of college football.
Maybe overthinking this. I don't know how many of them kids actually watch that. You'd be surprised at the number. Look, geeks like us, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I think you got a lot of them kids that probably, it's whatever.
But here's the thing. Like, I know a kid like for instance, and Nick brought him up earlier, Ace Alamo. If the Golden Meadow game runs through 6:30, he's going to be in the huddle on his phone watching LSU. Granted, they're going to be finished long before 6:30. That's why I can make that joke. But even still, there are a few diehards out there still. But you're right. It's not the same.
Red on my jersey, lion on my chest is for my fam, for my town. We ain't settling for less. Offense clean.